Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Celine. If this is your first time here, I'll be showing you how I created this fall makeup inspired look. If you're interested, then just keep watching. So to start off, I am going to go ahead and prep my skin with the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel to moisturize my skin. I really love this. I'm almost out, so I'm going to have to go get a new one pretty soon. So next, I am going to go ahead and prep my skin with the INNBEAUTY Project Dual Phase Setting Mist. And for my primer, I am using MILANI Bright Side Illuminated Primer. I love this one because it has vitamin C and pro vitamin B5, and it just gives your skin a very radiant effect, and it's super hydrating. I just really love this one because it gives a nice shine to my face, and my face is pretty dry, so it works well for dry skin if you are someone who has dry skin. And I'm going to go ahead and drag that onto my neck as well. So moving on to eyebrows, I'm using the Wet n Wild retractable brow pencil in the shade medium brown. So I like to start off with the lower portion and then move my way up, and I like to just brush that out as I'm going so they're not too harsh and boxy. I like to have that faded effect in the inner portion. So to clean that up, I am taking the Morphe 432 brush and the Wet n Wild PHOTOFOCUS Dewy foundation in the shade Soft Ivory to clean up my brows. And I like to just drag it through the inner portion to give it a faded effect. What I like to do is I try to carve it out in one swipe just to get a nice clean line. And I didn't have any water near me, so I'm going to use that setting mist to dampen my beauty sponge to blend in the foundation into my skin. But usually I like to use a damp beauty sponge. And then I'm going to go ahead and set my brows with the Essence Make Me Brow Gel in Brownie Brows is the shade. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Usually I use a BH eye primer, but I'm going to go ahead and use the E.L.F. Hydrating Concealer in the shade Fair Warm. And I'm just taking a Morphe 213 brush to apply that all over my eyelid. And I'm going to go ahead and take my sponge and blend that in. So for shadows, I'm using the Morphe X Jeffree Star palette. And I really like this palette because it has so many neutral colors for the fall. And I am taking an M330 brush and the shade Mr. Diva to use as my transition shade, and I'm just going to be packing it on there and blending it out and bringing it up pretty close to my brow bone. I'll be doing this a few times just to get the right pigmentation that I want, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing on my other eye as well. I always have trouble with my left eye because it is a little bit smaller, so I'm just going to have to lift it up just so I can make sure that it is blended well in the crease. And I'm taking a Morphe 506 brush in the shade Los Angeles and applying that to the outer portion of my eye. And I really love this one because it is a brownish orange shade and perfect for this look. I'm just going to go ahead and start dragging it inwards to blend it out. So you'll see me kind of going back into the shade, and just so I can get that saturation that I want and make sure I'm getting the payoff for the shadow. Now I'm taking the shade Mr. Diva again, and I'm applying that above that Los Angeles shadow just to make sure that there is no harsh lines from the dark orange color, and it just blends more seamlessly with the other shadow. So I'm going to get an E17 brush from Morphe, and I'm picking up the shade Hi Dude, and I'm going to go ahead and pack that into the outer portion as well. And I was having some trouble with that brush with blending it, so I switched to an M330 brush, and this worked better applying the shadow, being able to move it around and blend it out. So I'm taking my Garnier micellar water and a Q-tip to remove the inner portion of the shadow, and I switched out to a pointier Q-tip just to get a more crisp removal of the shadow. And then I'm taking the E.L.F. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm, and I'm going to use it as a base for the shadow. I'm just going to carve out my eyelid with this concealer. And I'm taking this Shadow Sense liquid eyeshadow in the shade Natural Tan. This is going to be the base for the glitter shadow that I'm going to be using for this look. And for the shadow, I am taking the shade Millions from the Jeffree Star palette by Morphe. And I really love this eyeshadow. It's so pigmented and sparkly and perfect for this look that I wanted to create. I like to apply the glitter with my finger because I feel like it gives a better payoff. This is not a really loose glitter. It is more compact, and I just really love the consistency. Also, I recommend wetting your finger a little bit just to get a more vibrant payoff with that shadow. Now I'm going to move on to my foundation, and like I said, I am using the Wet n Wild Photofocus foundation, the dewy one in the shade Soft Ivory. And I'm taking my makeup buffer brush from Essence and blending that out. Went ahead and applied a second layer on my cheeks because I do have rosacea, and I'm just going to blend that out with my beauty sponge. And go ahead and conceal my under eyes with the E.L.F. Hydrating Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm. And then I'm going to take the regular camo concealer in the shade Light Peach and apply that to the outer portions of my under eye. Be careful with this one because it does dry pretty fast. And if you are someone with super dry skin like me, I don't recommend using this one on its own, or if you do, don't use too much of it because it does set really quickly. So next up, I'm going to set under my eyes with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder in the shade 05 Fair. And all the products that I'm using in this tutorial will be listed in the description box below if you're interested. Now I'm taking the two shades Hi Dude and Fast Lane just to give a liner effect to the outer portions of my eyelid. I'm going to go ahead and dust off that setting powder. I didn't want to let it sit there too long. I'm just going back and adding more of that shadow, the two dark shadows, Hi Dude and Fast Lane, just to give more pigmented eyeliner effect to my eyes. And I'm going to go ahead and apply my mascara. This is the Rimmel London Scandal Eyes Curve Mascara in the shade Black is Black. Now for the eyelashes, I am taking these by I.ENVY Style 50. These are from Kiss, and stacked two pairs of the same ones on top of each other just to give a more dramatic effect. And I don't know if this is a limited edition because it was out in the Halloween section. So yeah, now I'm just going ahead and apply some of that mascara to blend them better, and using the eyelash curler to blend my natural ones with my falsies. Moving on to highlighter, I'm taking the Too Faced Turn Up the Light highlighter palette, and I'm using all the three colors, Glow, Soft Focus, and Dazzle, to use for my highlighter. And I like to apply it to my cheekbones and also to my nose. Moving on to bronzer, I'm using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer just to give my face some more definition and give some color back to my face. now I'm taking the shades Mr. Diva and Hi Dude and applying that to my lower waterline. And for my lips, I am going to go and hydrate them because they are a little dry with this NYX lip oil. And I'm going to go and line them with this LA Girl lip pencil in this shade Chocolate. And pull it inwards, kind of giving it a faded effect, and leave the center empty. And I'm going to use the Kylie Cosmetics Clo Money liquid lipstick and making sure it just blended well together. And I'm going to go ahead and set my whole face with the INNBEAUTY Project Setting Mist. And that is the completed look. I hope you enjoyed this look. Please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Also subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And hit the little bell to be notified of any future uploads from me. Thank you so much for watching again. And yeah, see you in the next video. Till then, bye.